the ammunition that Islam gives us, spiritual as well as physical, and the solutions that Islam offers in order to address the problems surrounding us that affect everyone. Not just, when we solve the problem or we help to solve the problem of healthcare, we're going to solve it for everyone. I know that yesterday, alhamdulillah, Muhammad Ansar got the courage to go and give blood. It was, fairly painful, I know. He'll tell you about it. But imagine, this, yes, may it come back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you all, to help a Muslim, but actually, that's not the way that he was thinking. That's not the way. When you sow a seed, are you thinking that, well, I'm going to wait for that seed to grow into a tree so that I eat from it? Is that how you would think? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the Prophet in the hadith says, إِذَا قَامَتِ الْقِيَامُ وَبِيَدِ أَحَدِكُمْ فَسِيلَ فَلْيَغْرِسْهَا. If Yawm al-Qiyamah comes, khalas, the end of time has come, it's now, the mountains are moving, the skies are churning, the earth is, all this, khalas, Yawm al-Qiyamah, and you are carrying a seed or a shrub, then plant it. The question is why? Why? This needs 10 years, 20 years to grow into something that bears fruit. That's not the point. The point is that you are being constructed. You are adding to life. You are making the world a better place even in its last moments. That is the way of a Muslim. That is the way of a Muslim. And it doesn't matter if I'm going to eat from that tree or my children are going to sit in the shade of that tree. It doesn't matter. That's not what I think. I'm thinking here that I'm doing something good for the world. And whoever benefits, then benefits. That's what I'm thinking. So let's look around us. Let's not be introverts. Let's be extroverts a little. Let's think about the problems out there, and let's think about what we can do individually as well as collectively to address those issues. I always ask my audience, and I'm going to ask you too, how many of you, raise your hand, how many of you are part of an anti-drugs campaign here in your locality? One. No one else. How many of you are part of a campaign in order to bring a higher level or a better level of healthcare to your region? One, Muhammad Ansar, stop it. One here, okay. How many of you are part of a campaign to help the old aged and provide help for nursing homes under pressure? And why is that? Is it because Islam doesn't order us to look after the old? Is it because Islam doesn't command us to fight drugs and things that intoxicate human beings? Is it that Islam doesn't encourage us to do good? What is it exactly that forbids us and stops us from being out there, helping everyone? What is it? What is it? The last thing I want to do, brothers and sisters, is to sort of accuse and criticize us all the time. But I think that we need to look at home first in order to understand where maybe the beginnings of the solution present themselves. Make absolutely sure to understand Islam in yourself. Islam was never meant for you merely to feel better about yourself. Islam came as ammunition for you to work for the betterment of everyone around you. When the Prophet ﷺ says, لا يؤمن, لا يؤمن, لا يؤمن, he shall not believe. He is not a believer. He who sleeps whilst his neighbor is hungry. Whoever that neighbor may be. Whoever that neighbor may be. اتقي دعوة المظلوم. Beware of the dua and supplication and prayer of he or she who have been dealt with injustice. Beware, do not do injustice upon anyone, regardless of whom they may be. That is the meaning of Islam. That is the essence of Islam. Unless we understand it, unless we absorb this, unless we appreciate this to the full, we won't be able to actually manifest, present, work, practice Islam in the way that it should be. And ultimately, we'll continuously come back to asking the question, what is the place and what is the role of Muslims in community? I'm looking forward to a time, shortly inshallah, when we stop asking these questions. When we stop asking about Islam and terrorism. When we stop asking questions about integration, whether we're integrated or not, whether women are second-class citizens in Islam, because as long as we continue to ask those questions, it means it's a problem that we ourselves aren't convinced of the answers that are present to us. So let's look forward to that. Let's make sure the next time when I come, or anyone else who comes, and ask you a question about how many of you have volunteered your time and your effort to work in a campaign that brings betterment to all of society, far more than one or two, and definitely not only Muhammad Ansar, raise their hands. The people say, yes, half of us are, and we're working to get the other half also involved. Let's make absolutely sure of that, because that, to me, I'm sure to you also, is what Islam means. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum.